How big are the jammers? I mean, what do they look like?
Well, it's like a different, but it's like a on a like a cargo, I don't know, trunk on a roof.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how it will be on English. Like extra space on the roof that you can put there or something. So it looks like this.
And
And there is
how much space does the jammer cover? I mean,
uh I don't remember the space, but like it covers like a 12 frequencies. 12, 15 frequencies. And so it used like a from a 1 kilowatt to a 1.5 kilowatt per hour. So that's a lot of you need a lot of energy like to run
a
this.
lot of power.
Uh,
So, which of the you're
yes,
using, what size sun cases? Which of the units are you using that work the most?
2.5 2.5 kilowatts, because they are not working like you know they're not working all the time,
Yeah.
because they will jam also our drones, or
Oh, that's
only when they see, so because there is some systems that they can see if the video from a enemy drone, and so they just launch it for the sometime 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and turn off. uh, yeah, so it can like works 2 hour without interruptions.
what's
Some of them, I think, they have maybe bigger 3.6 and 5 kilowatt hours. That's
yeah,
like a from 2 to 5 hours.
yeah. The 3651 is like the 512.
3651, yeah.
That's a big
I
unit.
don't remember, like some of the ambulances have like bigger and some of them have smaller.
Yeah, you have the
No,
24 and the 36.
we can't control it like totally, and it's sometimes it's hard like to understand some details, but we try to work very close with the ambulances. But actually they are telling like which battery goes with what car, which battery is going. But they are pretty good in their like their technical guys are also pretty good, so they understand what they are doing, not only on the medical stuff.
One final question. John Weber's on our call. John, are you there?
I am here.
Is there any question that you have? Because I know you're working with a lot of the military thing. Do you have any specific questions that you would like to ask?
Yeah, one of my big questions, and of course, we've seen
Sure.
with the experimentations that we've visited here in North America for military applications. Well, I'm curious, how have you seen the power requirements change from the beginning of the war to now? Have things become more refined and the average consumption is getting smaller, or are you seeing people adding more gadgets to their suits for UAV, anti-UAV? So how are the power requirements changed since the beginning of the war till now?
Like mostly are going through, near the all power solutions they're using with like Starlink. That's a base of it. It's even not about like a drone stuff, but it also needs to charge like all these batteries, all this. But it depends where the equipage lives and works. But that's a Starlink. That's a thing that working like a 24/7. It's like working all the time. And from the Starlink war starts, but then goes all this draw like a FPV and a jamming stuff, and it takes more and more and more power, because like if we are talking about a car, it's a 1 kilowatt or 1.5 kilowatt of usage. That's only a jammer. But if you're talking about like a bigger solution, it can be, if you're like a trench jammer that covers some position of soldiers, it's I think like a 3 kilowatts. It's close to a 2.5, 3 kilowatts of usage. And if you're talking about like a brigade level, so that can be five, like three and more. It's like it depends. It depends, yeah, of the like, but 3 and more kilowatts per hour. So that's a lot.
So the power needs are going up. Your power.
And yeah, power is going up all the time because like you need more and more, more bigger solution or cover more zones, like more frequencies. Or each frequency, it's like a extra unit that takes power. Yeah. So like if we're talking technically, so for this frequency we have 1 unit, like for the second one, and it like if we have a 10 frequencies, it will be 10 units in a one system. Yeah, 10 antennas that cover like. So yeah, the jamming is going like crazy, and that's also like the thing that we was talking before about tactic and all this like tactics on a battlefield, but also it's like a warfare uh, of a radio frequencies. Like I'm not sure how to tell it, but Russians change the frequencies, so our need to adapt. Our change frequencies, they need to adapt, and that's also more frequencies, more units, different systems, and that's also engineers work at it. So yeah, in a 2022, we have only Starlink and maybe like phones, computers, and there was less stuff that you need to power all the time. Now it's like a more and more and more of.
And with the portable power from NUES Energy, it allows you to take things to the front line and even beyond the front line with some of the soft teams. I'm curious what your favorite creative use cases of using a SunCase. Like, where's the most interesting place that you've seen somebody using that portable power unit?
On a Suja, on a jammer, on a some. So yeah, we have a photo. It's like actually it's our old generation of PowerPacs, but the guys have their and they were using it for a jamming. On some building, they have their jamming antennas, and there is a photos when one with a shotgun and another guy is like a changing batteries. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
that is
that's like
very common NUES Energy.
What is why I like our units, like that's also this if you're talking about a different brands, that's a civil brand. That's something like with a lamp, with charging, not charging, like charging without cord, can charge without cord your phone, maybe some fancy like thing. It will looks cool at your home, but it's actually not about like a field. And what is cool in our units that if it will fall out from your trunk, it will be everything okay with that. Yeah, maybe a few scratches or dirt or something, but the body of a battery it will not rip like different brands. And uh, it's hard in Ukraine to change it like a little bit because everyone knows some brands that are from the start of the war that you can go to a mall and buy it, and not all militaries understand importing to having a good stuff. It's like it's even not a very expensive stuff, but like a stuff that is more batteries that are more reliable for their conditions, because they know like only something I can go there, it's cheaper, or it's like but it can be like a cheapest shit, sorry, like on the market. Yeah, and it doesn't work like later. We know that our like units work. That's cool. And like And it's cool that we, like a company, we change them, like a first generation, and the second one is much more reliable, I think, for a field work, and it's like better, you know,
Well,
better.
you bring up a very good point, which is reliability out in the field. Um, I don't know that I've heard of NUE having any failures in the field, but I know that there are plenty of stories of sort of that. We call them Amazon inverters here at NUE, just something that can be easily purchased and used. What's the most common failure for those harsh environments out on the front lines?
Like, if you're talking about our or a
Just
different.
portable power equipment in general. And I'm curious how that applies if we're resistant to those types of failures. And that's why I haven't really heard of a lot of
So,
issues out in the field in Ukraine with our equipment.
so the most popular fail, it's like when in the cold time, guys trying to charge their to warm their trenches or where they sit with the warmers. It's like a and it's like a 3 kilowatt of power, and they like they can like put it everywhere. It does not like even on a smaller battery. It have a like a power socket, so I will put there. And if you're doing that, so yeah,
That's
you
not a
can.
good, that's not a good
It's
use of the battery.
Yeah, it's not good usage for a battery. I have a one situation that so actually my cousin, he was like sitting on his trenches, and he was like, oh man, I don't know, like it's not on a trend, like I don't know why it doesn't work, and it working like good, but now I'm not sure why it doesn't. I say, okay, you can like launch on a video. It was somewhere on a night. He just launched a video showing me, and he showed actually this with a battery. Like, here, look, it doesn't work. And I say, okay, like, but there is 3 kilowatt, battery is 2.5. What do you want from this battery? It
Yeah.
will not work. Yeah, it's just like, uh, army is like a big amount of different people. Like, it's just like a big man team, yeah. And it does not like uh, a lot of people does not go deeper to understand something, even like a battery, yeah. So I have a power socket, I have a power plug, I will put it there. I don't care how much, like how strong this battery is, and it will work or no. And yeah, for army you need more durable systems, and that's actually one guy from a unit. It can understand everything about this because like he have some technical like mind, and one it can just like broke for a few seconds because he's not about this.
Hmm.
Well, is there any other final thoughts that you have for us? I'd love to talk to you. This has been such an insightful conversation with everyone. You took us on a unique journey and kind of gave us an inside look to what's going on within Ukraine and kind of not just about NUE power, but it's also about the bigger picture, about war, about the changing paradigms of war. Any other final thoughts that you'd like to tell us?
uh, the war is very fast, and we should adapt. We should have a unity like inside us, and I think we will win this war. Yeah, but only it depends when, you know. And if we can do that faster, we can save with that tons of lives.
Michael has joined back with us. We're kind of doing a kind of a final summary. We were actually, John Weber had asked a couple very interesting questions about kind of the best case usage scenarios for the batteries or worst case scenarios that have been in the field of batteries. Uh, What are your thoughts? I mean, some people just think a battery because it has a plug, you can put anything into it. And so it's like not a really, there's kind of a limited understanding of what the possibility of what a battery can do.
So power requirements have changed, and they've changed significantly. And Starlink, other devices have increased the way of networking and communicating with devices. Also, using communications that are not on secret networks, and that are meshed, and using robots and autonomous systems forward of our troops has also increased the need to power these systems. So, um, then you've got other things. You've got jamming. Other, you've got deception devices. You have just normal sustainment of life needs that the military has been using. And as an example, we've used generators. Generators use fuel. You need to change the filters. And now, in an environment where you're always under observation, what we saw is, like, in the trenches, they were burying the generators and having outlet lines for the exhaust somewhere else because of the thermal signature of the generators. And so now they're using batteries on the front lines because they don't have that thermal signature. And you could put it in an enclosed area where you can hide instead of out in the open, and then using generators and other things to power those and resupply those. And we've even seen drones delivering new use energy products to the front lines because this power is so important. I was doing an exercise with some Marines, a readiness exercise, and they had a Skydio drone. And they said, yeah, we can get about 20, 30 minutes of flight out of this. And I asked them why. And they said, we don't have the power to sustain the flights. Well, lucky for us, I brought a small NUE system, and we were able to have 24-hour for 3 days surveillance with a Starlink computer and charging these drone batteries on the objective with the ISR platform, which is huge. We talked about decreasing the OODA loop, the observe, orient, decide, act, and the kill chain, and having those assets out there, A, and B, being able to engage them with the weapon systems that we have that are not people is crucial. So there's a lot of creative uses with, soldiers using this, and even like medical teams and ambulances having these systems and going into places where power's out, but they still have the lamps, and all they have to do is plug the lamp in, and they have light. They don't need to bring a flashlight or anything. They can use existing infrastructure. And there's ways that we have not used it yet, especially when you're talking about island hopping in the Pacific, and some of these challenges in the maritime and South American kind of fields. There are a lot of really fun, creative ways that we can use technology to save lives and be more effective.
Any final thoughts?
I don't know. I need a second to think, but I need to go. But what we can do is, you can call me later if you want to get some more like sound bites.
Well, hurry up and said it, because there's other information that you're a wealth of history. So there's a whole other conversation I'd love to have with you. I would really like to extend my gratitude to everyone that was involved in this conversation. It was insightful. It brought us a perspective that I was totally unaware of. And you really, for everyone, it was a true education and enlightenment on a situation that is crucial. And I hope, well, it'll probably end up being a 2 to 3 episode piece, because it's so much information that it's not 22 minutes.
All right. Well, let me give the final piece, and then I'm going to sign off. But thanks, everybody. So technology gets the attention of a lot of people right now, but energy makes it possible. The new use energy systems, they enable these modern capabilities by providing the portable, resilient power that keeps systems operating when the grid is unstable, unavailable, or under attack. In modern operations, energy is not a support function. It's a combat multiplier. Drones, sensors, communications, robotics, digital systems, they all depend on reliable power. And without it, advanced technology becomes a temporary capability. New use energy helps solve that problem. It gives the operators the ability to generate, store, move, and adapt power in real world conditions. That means more endurance, more flexibility, and more freedom of action, really. Amateurs talk tactics professionals study logistics, and in modern warfare, energy is logistics. I would also like to say that it's important that we support American companies and not Chinese companies. So, we talk about supply chain, we talk about spending money to develop American industry. And until we put our money where our mouth is, we're stuck in the supply chain. And if we do have some kind of adversarial warfare with China, it would be very dangerous. And by moving and shifting from that dependence on Chinese companies and moving it to American companies, you're helping with that. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Michael. And thank you, everyone.